Hey everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd, doing a letter from a fan, doing a question that I got over here from Rob. And it's a good question, something that I've heard a lot of people talk about. I've heard people talk about it in tweets, in YouTube comments, in videos talking about hip hop music and the culture at the moment. And to the point where it's like a big topic and it's kind of concerning, and it gets me sort of worried about the sanity of some of these people, because the agenda, the conspiracy we're about to talk here, it's almost as bad as the whole Illuminati thing, but we're going to get into it. Rob says, "Hey Anthony, just wanted to hear your thoughts on the gay agenda in hip hop, the alleged gay agenda in hip hop. Over the last few years, there's been a change in the whole landscape that I know you're aware of. Artists wearing women's clothing, painting their nails, etc. But also on a lyrical note, the amount of homosexual double entendres seems to increase every year. So I conclude by asking, do you believe there is a gay agenda in hip hop? If so, why do you think that's the case? Do I think it helps to, serve or hinder hip hop as a genre? Where do I see it leading or, bringing the genre forward? Yada, yada, yada." Listen, I don't think there's a gay agenda in hip hop. And if there is such a thing, what is that agenda? Like, ultimately, what would more hip-hop artists being gay and being bisexual and wearing dresses and painting their nails ultimately do? I mean, it's not going to turn other people gay. I mean, that's not how people become homosexual. They don't just simply see a homosexual person. They're like, oh, I'm homosexual now. You don't just listen to a gay person's song and then you don't just listen to a gay person rapping and turn gay. So what is the agenda? Is the agenda to turn people gay? Is the agenda to like what ultimately is the worst case scenario of, like, let's say, I'm trying to think of like an example here. I'm trying to think of an artist. Like, let's say, and I know that this is most likely not the case, but let's just say, hypothetical, Kendrick Lamar tomorrow comes out, he's gay. That's what he says. And he swears to us that's the case, and we take it as truth. What is the worst case scenario of that? That people on the whole become more accepting of homosexuality? Like, is that such a horrible thing? Like, I don't get it. Like, people talk about a gay agenda in hip hop as if there's some kind of like nefarious end to this sort of plan, this agenda. And I'm just like, what could that nefarious plan possibly be? Like, equality, equal respect and acceptance. Again, I don't know where people asserting this whole gay agenda theory sort of see this agenda going, because it doesn't go anywhere. It's just a dumb, idiot conspiracy theory thrown out there by people who, for whatever reason, are uncomfortable with other people being homosexual. I mean, I've heard people go as far as to say, I can't listen to a gay artist because when they talk about being in love, it makes me think of gay people being in love. And it's just like, are you four? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, are you that stupid? But anyway, no, I don't think there's a gay agenda in hip hop. I think you're probably seeing more gay artists and bisexual artists in the hip hop sphere because the internet has essentially taken down the gatekeepers. And now, if you are a gay artist or a bisexual artist or a trans hip hop artist, if you sound good and you have a good flow and you have catchy or meaningful or clever or funny lyrics and you have some good production behind you, you can make just as, worthy and just as entertaining a song as, the Migos or Future or Kendrick or whatever. All that matters at the end of the day is your ability to make a song that people want to hear, and now that people generally on the whole are a bit more accepting of gay culture, to hear an artist come along and kind of break the mold of this recycling of, overly sexualized heterosexual narratives in hip hop, when somebody comes along and sort of changes that up a little bit, it can be kind of refreshing, I mean, thankfully, people like, Kevin Abstract, for example, are sort of breaking that mold, with what he's doing with Brockhampton and his own music right now. And there are plenty of other examples as well, some of which I've reviewed on the channel. Shout out to Capes the Killer too, and the list goes on. If there's been an agenda in hip hop, it's been to, for the past how many decades, since like the advent of hardcore hip hop and gangster rap, assert the most, callous and brutal and like one-dimensional view of masculinity possible. If there's been an agenda in hip hop, it's been that. Because how long have we been fucking subjected to that? And not that I think that, assertiveness or, strength or masculinity or bragging or, sex or money or power, not that I think that those are bad themes. I think those themes are sort of, those themes have been around as long as, humanity's been around, in storytelling and art, these things are not, unique to hip hop. You can't just blame, the popularity of these themes on hip hop music. These themes are universal in tons of human art. But now that the internet is around, people could sort of subvert that narrative and subvert that sound and sort of bring something different, bring something alternative, change the pace, change it up. And if anything, there's been an anti-gay agenda in hip hop for the longest time, which is why you see so few gay hip hop artists, So, I mean, to sort of say that there's a gay agenda just because you see Young Thug wear a dress and paint his nails is sort of ridiculous, because you're ignoring the decades upon decades upon decades of basically throwing gay rappers under the bus, ignoring gay rappers, rappers who are gay, if they, are producers or, movers and shakers in the industry, if they do get popular and they do get attention, if they are homosexual, they have to, or bisexual, whatever it may be, they have to stay in the closet and they can't, truly admit or be who they are. That has been, honestly, if there's an agenda, it's that one. That's been the agenda. That's been the fucking agenda, to be fair. Now that you see artists out here who are openly gay, I don't think they're doing an agenda. I think they're just kind of making the music that they want to make, and honestly, I think it's kind of another, misstep and a lack of foresight of people who are sort of asserting that there is a gay agenda in hip hop right now by saying like, oh, Young Thug, he wears dresses, paints his nails, blah, blah, blah. There's totally a gay agenda, blah, blah, blah. Because you're boiling down homosexuality to a man wearing a dress. Which, like, you could be straight and wear a dress. You can be gay and wear a dress. I have tons of gay friends who, they don't wear dresses. They just kind of wear regular man clothes. And they go to work, they shit and they shower every day just like you do, and it's no different, like they're not out here wearing dresses every day, they're not out here painting their nails, they just dress like regular guys, and they're actually like leading pretty average, normal, boring lives just like anybody else who's straight. So to sort of pigeonhole gay people as just like men who wear dresses, I think, sort of shows the level of ignorance that you're talking about when, you're discussing these people who are asserting there's a gay agenda, there's a gay agenda, there's a gay agenda. Because here's the thing, most likely Young Thug is probably influenced by a guy like Lil B, who has been known to wear blouses and female clothes and, old church lady earrings and church hats and stuff like that, because he knows it gets a rise out of, the homophobic hater base that, watched a lot of his early videos, because he knows that they would go fucking ballistic over him wearing a fucking tight purple shirt, which, like, at the end of the day, who gives a shit? It's a shirt, who gives a fuck? It's a goddamn shirt. Doesn't mean anything. It's just him fucking, herding you into the fucking slaughterhouse because you're too stupid to see that he's just like doing it to rile you up. And I have no doubt in my mind that, Young Thug is, doing this as well, consciously knowing and understanding that this is him just kind of manipulating his audience or getting a reaction out of his audience. But, simultaneously, not to say that the way that he dresses is disingenuous. I also see an element of Young Thug's aesthetic as him just kind of being like, listen, I want to do whatever I want to do, you know, and I want to express myself however I want to express myself. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to take that heat. And then maybe at the end of the day, you'll learn from it by seeing like, hey, this guy, you know, he dressed the way that he wanted to dress. He, you know, sort of did whatever he wanted to do. He got some attacks for it. He got some negative attention for it. But here he is at the end of the day doing his thing. And, you know, nothing bad happened to him, you know, like ultimately all that happened was he had to suffer a little bit of ridicule, which at the end of the day, that's a small price to pay for being able to be you. So no, I don't think there's a gay agenda in hip hop. And again, even if there was, like, what would that agenda be? Are the gays going to take over? Are they just going to dominate everything? All of a sudden, we're just going to wake up and the gays just own hip hop? Like, you can't own a genre of music. That's stupid. So it's not like all of a sudden gay people are going to own or destroy or just control the entirety of hip hop or turn people gay or control your mind through their homosexual black magic. Like what is the agenda? You know, there's like no fucking agenda, you know, because like gay people are not wizards. They just have a different sexual orientation from you. So, you know, all they can really do at the end of the day is make a song just like anybody else, and you either like it or you don't like it. They're not controlling you. I'm sorry. All right. So yeah, stupid theme, stupid concept, but, you know, still a prevalent one and worth, you know, sort of grinding into the dirt for the idiot conspiracy that it is. All right, over here next to my head is another video. Check that out, and you can either do that or click on the link to subscribe to the channel. I will catch you guys in the next one. You're the best forever.